All right, we're moving on to Chapter 2, named after the characters that we're about to meet. Here's Combo and Cube. We've got some challenges to do here that are mandatory to complete the game. This is another one of those character challenges that you straight up can't refuse. You have to accept Combo and Cube's challenges in order to play the game. Unlike the other ones which we've got from beating most missions, these are kind of the rare exception. Cube's challenge is fairly straightforward, although it's weird being the person outside of the GGs asking to get in instead of somebody outside the GGs trying to get the GGs to impress them. Cube's challenge is fairly easy so long as you make that grind. You can miss it if you don't jump far enough, so you might have to redo it a couple of times. What's next is Combo's challenge. Combo's challenge is against Beat, where you'll be playing as Combo, and is kind of strange because it's another Jet Crush or race. You're basically making a route through the bus terminal and then through Park Street to Center Street, getting graffiti cans at the top of the hill and then spraying at the bottom of the hill in Center Street. It's not super hard, but Beat is going to be ahead of me for most of this because apparently I'm not very good. Combo and Cube are pretty interesting characters with cool designs, and we actually will be playing as them in a few actual story missions. I know, it's a shock to you and me both.
Hey! Yeah!
See, right there when Beat was dancing, that's the AI waiting for you. The AI will actually take pity on you during the races if you take too long. For actual Jet Crush, that's a problem because it's a sign that you're not going fast enough to actually get the Jet rank. But for character challenges, it's not a big deal because you just have to beat it. This car is very inconveniently in the way. I find it's faster if you can to not jump on this rail that I just went on. Like, just brush up beside it and run down the hill, you'll go faster. It doesn't really matter. If you want to grind the rail, you can grind the rail. But if you want to go fast, you can go fast. And with that, we have unlocked our fancy new characters and are going to get a little bit of, I guess, exposition. I nearly said expedition. That's not what we're getting.
Grind City, my turf. My name's Combo, and me, Cube, and Coin used to own the Bantam Street area in this city. It's a little far from Tokyo, but everyone used to stay out of our way there. Till recently, that is. Someone been going around painting these ugly signs all over Grind City. It's so ugly I can't even call it graffiti. Strange paintings of rhinos and bizarre symbols. All of our old graffiti's been covered up by these horrific signs. And on top of that, Coin has been kidnapped and his enormous collection of records has been destroyed. Ever since the emergence of these paintings, strange things been happening in this city too. Unfamiliar black cars and men in black suits are hanging around the streets as if they're waiting for something. Oh wait, was that statue here at Grind Square always this color? There's definitely something wrong here. I smell something fishy going on.
Alright, now we're on to an interesting part of the game, Chapter 2. Chapter 2 didn't exist in the original Japanese version of Jet Set Radio. It was added in subsequent versions on the Dreamcast and then the digital release. We're starting with Cube. Cube is an interesting character, and of course one of the two that we've unlocked during this section. To unlock Cube, you've seen it already, we just have to beat Shibuya Cho's Mission 3, Love Attack, and start Chapter 2. It's mandatory in order to continue playing the game. It's not one you can refuse. For Graffiti, Cube has access to the small graffiti, Fear Me, at number 8. For Cube's large graffiti, we have Tougher Than You at number 42. And lastly, for extra large, Cube has access to Sick Town by Grim Reaper at number 76. For spray patterns, Cube takes after beat. Stage 1, top to bottom. Stage 2, 6 to 12 counterclockwise. Stage 3, 12 to 6 clockwise, 6 to 12 counterclockwise. Stage 4, 12 to 12 clockwise, 12 to 6 counterclockwise. Stage 5, 6 to 6 clockwise, 6 to 12 counterclockwise. Stage 6, 12 to 12 clockwise twice. Stage 7, 12 to 6 counterclockwise, 6 to 6 clockwise, 6 to 12 counterclockwise. And as usual, here's the footage showing Cubes spraying in action. I haven't mentioned it, but it's always interesting to see that there's a bit of a unique animation between sprays. Even if it's just one of them, it's still kind of cool to see. In the way of stats, Cube is actually pretty good. Has a maximum of 25 cans and is the first and I think only character with that many. Has a decent amount of health and fairly well-rounded stats, but is leaning slightly more towards graffiti. Not quite as good with that stat as Gum, but I mean, very few characters are. In terms of tricks, Cube has access to Flying Kite and Method Backflip for forward air, 720, and Method for reverse air. Forward grinds are Acid Soul, Far Side Acid Soul, Backslide, Backside Backslide, Full Torque, Backside Full Torque. Reverse grinds are Alley-Oop Miz, Far Side Alley-Oop Miz, Soil, Far Side Soil. Forward verts are Judo Backflip 180 and Misty Flip. Reverse verts are 540 and Abstract 540. Now, of course, even though I'm choosing Cube, you also have the option to play as Combo, who is the other new character we unlocked. In order to unlock them, you have to beat that Jet Crush imitator that we saw earlier. Really, you have to beat Shibuya Cho's Mission 3, Love Attack, and then you have to beat the challenge to continue playing the game. For small size graffiti, Combo has access to Don't Push It Kid at number 4. For large size graffiti, we have number 38, Watch My Moves by, well, Combo. And lastly, for extra large at number 72, we have Breaker Breaker by Breaker. For Combo's spray patterns, he also follows beat type. Stage 1, top to bottom. Stage 2, 6 to 12 counterclockwise. Stage 3, 12 to 6 clockwise, 6 to 12 counterclockwise. Stage 4, 12 to 12 clockwise, 12 to 6 counterclockwise. Stage 5, 6 to 6 clockwise, 6 to 12 counterclockwise. Stage 6, 12 to 12 clockwise twice. Stage 7, 12 to 6 counterclockwise, 6 to 6 clockwise, 6 to 12 counterclockwise. In terms of stats, Combo is kind of an interesting character in that he has 20 spray cans, which is kind of average, has almost a full health bar, which is an extremely high power stat, has decent graffiti, about as good as Cubes, and low technique stat. So if you're afraid of getting hit, or know you're going to get hit a lot, use Combo. Combo's tricks, forward airs are 720 and backflip, reverse airs are Judo, and Judo backflip. Forward grinds are backslide, backside backslide, Makio, farside Makio, rock mac, and farside rock mac. Reverse grinds are alley-oop Makio, farside alley-oop Makio, alley-oop Miz, and farside alley-oop Miz. Forward verts are 900 and shifty 180. Reverse verts are method backflip 180 and stalefish 180. Now, lastly, and I know we're going over a lot of information again, we're going to Grind City. This next level we're doing is Bantam Street. Small size graffiti, Shake by Custad at number 28 is available here. Also in size small, we have number 29. Let's Go Dog by Juan. Now moving on to size large graffiti, we've got number 62, Push by Marzio. Also in size large, we have number 63, Sapone by, well, Sapone. Lastly, we have number 96, Snack Attack by Jordan. Quite a bit of graffiti up for grabs, especially for a level that is basically the size of one area. I know that's a bit of a spoiler, but the levels in Chapter 2, aka the levels added in the non-original Japanese Dreamcast release, are kind of small, but they're interesting. And normally I would talk about version differences here, but I want to kind of save it for later and talk more about the level itself. Bantam Street is, Bantam Street and Grind Square are part of a larger area referred to as Grind City, which is fairly clearly based off of New York, based on the buildings, the train lines, the shop fronts, and the skyline. You can actually see the Twin Towers in the background. Yes, this game was made in 2000. It's when they were still there. So, because Cube has a lower graffiti stat and just different spray patterns, it's a little more uncomfortable for me to actually spray the patterns here, because I'm just not as familiar with it. But a decent run through of these levels is still possible. I should make it known, for whatever reason, that my run through of these particular levels in the Grind City area, I redid the footage for. I don't think that actually makes any lick of difference to anyone other than the fact that the graffiti that's being sprayed here isn't in line with the ones that I picked in the menu earlier. But I guess it's still worth noting because I should address the inconsistency rather than just being like, shh, it doesn't exist. I'm trying in this level, as per usual, to get the larger graffiti first, since this is a smaller sized level that's kind of easier to do, and I've gotten a fair amount of them already. What I'm doing now, I'm not actually bailing from the level, I'm lining myself up for a graffiti sold that's kind of easy to miss. Half the time you wouldn't see that if you weren't explicitly looking for it, especially because the spray cans direct you to the other side of the platform. Now, you have new enemies introduced in Bantam Street. You've got the Golden Rhinos, basically, which are like crime organization, I guess. Functionally, these units that we're about to pass by are the exact same as the police units from like the first level, the ones with the batons. All they can do is grab onto you and knock you over and do some damage. Now, there's an enemy that appears later in this level that is much more of a problem, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think I might. There's a possibility that I will spend a little bit of extra time getting more score by doing a trick loop in here. I might just do that like a few times. I think I'm gonna try it now. So this trick loop is the one that I find the most unreliable in the game because of that wall that I just touched. That slanted wall that's not like the super long straightaway, if you don't hit it at like a precise angle, you're more than likely going to miss the loop, and you can't maintain your score that way. It makes it one of the trickier spots in the game for building a high score if you're doing it based on trick loops, but if you know the score requirements, you don't have to really build your run around that too much, or just your playthrough. Which is why I've been listing the Jet Graffiti scores in case you are playing along. Then you have the benefit of foresight and or hindsight for the levels, knowing what scores you're gonna get. In he comes. This dude, he's got like a golden chain whip. He's actually quite an annoying enemy to face, which makes me kind of panic to spray the larger graffitis, which is why I was taking care of that earlier. Now I think the last few sprays we have over here are just the ones along this wall, and then we're done the level. I think I already mentioned it, but the Grind City levels are not super long, which is actually kind of refreshing given the length of the other levels we had played just previously.
Whoa! Cool. Cool. Whoa! Whoa! Yo! Yeah!
Alright, that's that for Bantam Street.
I got mad skills.
There was a message on a piece of graffiti. I think it was from Coin. He told me to go to Grind Square. It seems like the punks that have been painting those ugly pieces of art have been hanging around Grind Square too. They probably already know that we've been painting over their stuff with our own symbols. They may be dangerous, but we can't let them take over. It's time to throw a little spray paint party and see if they come and try to crash it.
Now we're going to be moving on to Grind Square. This is a level. I wonder if you can guess where it's based off of. The first graffiti soul we have here at size small is Hero by Hanzo at number 30, followed by a large size graffiti, Fly Tech by Melissa at 64. Next up, we've got Sapone by Sapone at number 97. No, this is not a mistake. The game actually does list two items under the same name and author. Lastly, we have Rock and Roll by Hanzo at number 98. This is the last graffiti soul in the game. So with that, I can show the locations of every graffiti soul in the game, but I can't show every piece of graffiti just yet. There are still some things that are locked away.
Yeah.
Grind Square is based off of a totally nothing. It's a totally original location with no basis in reality whatsoever, and definitely has nothing to do with New York.
Yo! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yo! That's the kid.
This is my least favorite level in the entire game. It's filled with narrow passages and is way too vertical for its own good. If you mess up a jump, you're gonna fall all the way back to the bottom and waste a ton of time, which I end up doing repeatedly on every playthrough of this game that I do. That being said, the level is at least fun to look at. Every level in this game is highly stylized and just generally interesting to explore. This level just kinda sucks, in my opinion, though.
Whoa!
That graffiti soul that I just got requires a fairly precise jump, so I'm glad I got it pretty early. That was not a mistake. I did not fall off accidentally. That I definitely meant to do that.
Yo! Whoa!
Totally.
Whoa! Ha! Yo! Ha! Ha! Whoa! Cool. Yo! Cool. Whoa! Ha! Whoa! Yo! Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! Cool. Whoa! Whoa!
This level's just got like advertisements and posted plastered everywhere. But this is another one of those levels that introduces new enemies. Assassin number 6 is an electric-based enemy. One that doesn't actually chase you down, which is actually fairly convenient, but it has its own set of problems. Assassin number 6 is one that basically shoots electricity onto the wires, and if you touch it, you're stopped in place. Functionally, what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to make you fall off the rail, which, in the case of where they're placed, will make you fall all the way back down to the ground, which is highly annoying. But if you just jump after you get hit by them, your momentum starts up again. Like, if you just spam the jump button, you'll build up your momentum before you fall off the rail, and it just isn't a problem. So those enemies are either bugged or were not designed very well. I do appreciate it though, because it means that a highly frustrating obstacle is completely avoidable. The one saving grace of Grind Square, in my opinion, is that it has the easiest loop in the game. Basically, these rails that I'm jumping on right now, all you have to do is jump. You don't have to move your character at all. You don't have to position them. If you just keep jumping at the right time, the combo loop keeps going and you build up thousands of score really, really quick. We've also got helicopters. They look different. They're no different than the normal helicopters that we've seen in earlier levels. They shoot rockets at you, they're annoying, and you can spray them down.
Cool. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Ha.
I missed the jump. I hate this level.
Whoa. Yo. Whoa. Ha. Whoa. Yo. Ha. Whoa.
In line with the name of Chapter 2, Chapter 2 comes with 2 characters, 2 levels, and 2 missions. That's it. That's all the international versions got in the way of additions, but it is interesting to note that they got 2 unique levels.
Yeah. 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 Cool. Whoa. Yo. Yeah. Ha. Ha. Ha.
Alright, I think that's the last graffiti soul for this level, which is also the last graffiti soul for the game.
Whoa. Yo. Yo. Yeah. I got mad skills.
Grind Square. The whole place was built by the Rokaku group. And I'm starting to get the feeling that those men in black suits are somehow connected to the Rokaku. And this message that Coin left me, I don't understand it. What's this golden rhino that he painted? Does it have anything to do with the Rokaku? Is all of this their doing? And is anything strange going on in Tokyo too? What's this new radio station, Jet Set Radio, that everybody keeps talking about? Well, I'm sort of one-track minded. And now that it looks like I'm involved in something big here, I got no choice but to fly to Tokyo. And if my contacts are right, the first guys I need to get a hold of are these people that call themselves the GGs.